Yo, bless, peace. What's to it? What's to it? Welcome to the cool lunch table. You can't sit with us. This your boy Malik Yusef, aka the Wordsmith, aka DJ Good Music, aka the Revolutionary Shy Guevara. Got a bunch of AKAs too. Still, I'm in the studio still working on my theme music, so I don't have my theme song ready yet. I have it ready next episode. I'm mainly known for being handsome ass nigga. You know that in the dough. After that, I'm known for a couple other good things, man. But the Bible say the greatest amongst you will be a servant. So today I want to talk about what it means to serve, what it means to aid and assist, what it means to help, what it means to create karma in that space. So when I tell you that it's like being in a video game. People always say it's a simulation, but it is, because you rack up points by what you do. You dig. There's not going to be a time in your life where people don't need you, obviously, but you also have to take care of yourself. So part of this is also going to be about self-love, self-care. And I'll start off with the part where we talk about self-love. Now, for some of us, self-love is very simple. It's very easy. But for others of us, it's not so simple. It's not so easy. The image we see in the mirror is not exactly what we want to see. The image in our mind of ourselves is not exactly what we want to see. Sometimes it's based on outside proclivities, other people, things that you've taken into your mind, into your heart, into your spirit. But nevertheless, they exist. So it increases the degree of difficulty to motherfucking love yourself, man. And I have some cheat codes for people, you know. One of those cheat codes is to figure out what it is you love in this world, and then to juxtapose that to what you're doing to have that, achieve that, gain that. That's one thing, because it's not easy to come out that dark space of self-loathing, and that leads to self-harm. This disrespect for yourself, the idea that you want to put others above you. And, and it's hard sometimes to understand like what being humble is. And sometimes we are overly humble. We put everything and everybody else before ourselves because we lack the self-love, man. And it's not a game. It might come from childhood. It might come from your adolescence. It might come from several experiences that you have with others. But nevertheless, it exists. Mine came from my home life, my mother not valuing me as much as she valued my other brothers and sisters, my father not valuing me as much as he did my other brothers and sisters. And, we had a discussion as adults, he was like, I just felt like you never needed me. And I'm like, man, shit, nigga, I needed you probably more than the rest of the kids because I ain't have a mama, you know what I'm saying? So I probably needed you more. But whatever thing I put up a facade or whatever that made him feel like, he couldn't get close to me or whatever. And, that's not the child's fault. It's not your fault as a child, And, something you got to work through. Nobody's perfect. I talk to my dad, at least probably, once every other month now, you know what I'm saying? So we cool, and I mean, those are his demons he got to deal with. And I'm not here to put no extra pressure on him. But again, those things impede your path to self-love. Now, sometimes that makes you become bitter and mean and selfish. And I'm not saying to be fully selfless or be fully selfish. Definitely don't be fully selfish. But put a balance. Like all things must be balanced. You got to have a proper balance in that shit, you dig? There's not going to be a time when balance is not needed, Even if you have to go from one extreme to another, sometime it ain't time to be at peace. Sometimes you gotta get brolic with a motherfucker. Sometimes, the other times it's time to be at peace, and sometimes it's time to talk. Sometimes it's time to listen. The reason why I can do this podcast because I've done a lot of listening in my life. 40-something years of listening to people that's smarter than me. Be it when I was in the military or when I was in the Boy Scouts or when I first became a Mason or several different groups I've been involved in my life. Listening has been the key to my success in any of those groups and any of those endeavors, you dig. So I want to say that you have to not only think positive. That's not a fucking enough, man. People tell you, think positive, think positive. It's not. Belief. You have to believe. Belief is bigger than thinking. Because if you believe in Santa Claus, you will write letters, you would do good, you would do everything. If you think Santa Claus maybe exists, it's not going to have the same effect physiologically. It won't even, come from the brain down to the body, You have to believe that you're worthy of love. And I know it's not easy. I know it's hard. I know some of y'all finna be in tears just listening to this because you know that you don't believe that you deserve love fully. Because you've been shown every fucking example by people around you why you shouldn't be loved or why you don't deserve love or why you too slow or why you too this or why you too that or not enough this or not enough that. Too tall, too skinny, too light, too dark, too thin, too chubby, too masculine, too feminine. It's going to be, somebody's going to be like, that's not my flavor. You got to find a balance that's for you. And you got to start by really investigating who you are, spending time with yourself. A lot of times people that get bullied and shit and get fucked around with and get played and get bogus and get tricked is because we're looking for the outside validation, which is a practical aspect of humanity. But you got to do it self first. And that's the hard part. So instead of spending time with ourselves, we go find other people to spend time with. We go out, find people. And those people are usually the easiest people to get to. Those people that's going to introduce you to bad habits. When I mean bad habits, I mean habits that are deleterious to your physical, spiritual, mental health. It's going to be people that's going to introduce you to drugs, but you want to be with them, so you're going to fuck around with the dope. People that introduce you to alcohol, that you want to be with them, so you're going to fuck around with the alcohol or whatever, anything else. Sex prematurely, is not healthy for you. The brain's still developing, you know what I'm saying? No matter how much your body is ready for it, sometimes the mind and spirit ain't ready for those sexual experiences, especially if it's something that's outside the culture, something that's counterculture, talking about the LGBTQ community and shit like that. That shit sometimes you're not ready for because it is counterculture, and anything counterculture. Joining the gang is counterculture. People, that's not what the expectation is. That's not the social norm. So those things weigh heavier on you because you're going against the fucking grain. Okay? So I want to talk about the fact that self-care is self-love. Woo, that's a hard one. God damn it. That shit hard, Joe. To make sure that other people are taken care of is way easier. To make sure they have everything they need is way easier than to make sure that you have everything. You say, no, let me get up and worry about them. And it's a hard habit to break once you formed it. Especially if you are a natural giver. That shit get out of balance so motherfucking quick, Joe. That shit goes so fast, Joe. And the people, they wind up having the expectation that you're going to do for them more than they're going to do for you. And even sometimes more than they do for themselves. And they set the expectation, then it becomes draining to you because now more people, Malik could do it or whatever your name is in a listening audience, Ralph, Ralph would do it. And then everyone starts to drain Ralph. And then Ralph gets upset. But who does he get upset with? He gets upset with himself, as opposed to saying, and then he doesn't stop. He just gets upset with himself and he likes himself less and he treats himself worse. And this is the cycle that begins. You dig what I'm saying to you? And it's a cycle of abuse. Just like somebody has put abuse upon you. When you're dealing with abuse, there's a cycle of it. There's a honeymoon stage. There's an agitation stage, and there's an explosion stage. And there's variances inside of those. But usually when you're in a bad relationship with somebody, you be like, why are you acting funny today? That's their anxiety or the agitation stage where they finding things wrong with you, finding fault in you. Why you wear that? Why you don't like that? Why you ain't do that? You like, what you talking about? Why? And then all of a sudden it's an argument. They then fixing their mind. They're going to attack you. These people aren't well. They aren't whole. They aren't in good positions in their mind or their heart. So they're going to press that upon you. It's easier to do that. Just like it's easier for you to take care of them than it is to take care of yourself. And that's unhealthy behavior. No matter how sweet it is and how it looks to the world or even to yourself, it's not healthy. It's not in balance, you know? So this is what we got to deal with, man. We got to fight with ourselves to get right. You dig? We not the people that are the ones that overtly look like the bad guy, the villain, but we are the bad guy to ourselves. We are the villain in our own story. We're hurting ourselves more than the people that got the motherfucking mask on and the bad guy horns and shit. You did. That's why I like the Batman comic, because he dressed like a bad guy, but he's doing good because he takes care of himself first. He's got a butler. He's got all these things. Now, of course, he's a billionaire, so that's a little different. But, hey, on any budget, you can do some self-care. And as this podcast grows and matures, I'm going to ask people to send in information. The Cool Lunch Table is informational as well on self-care products, businesses. If you want to be a business that reaches out to help people, because this Cool Lunch Table is about fucking conversation and some aid and assistance, you know? And like I say, the scriptures say the greatest amongst you will be a servant. That person is great. Some people will hold that person back and make them keep serving one small entity that, again, is counterintuitive to their growth. People will trap you. People will make you have to prove that you deserve their friendship, and their friendship ain't worth shit. They ain't shit. And once you get out of it, you can see, but while you're in it, you're muddled, you know? But serving is a good thing. Serving people is a good thing. If you ever get a day where you be like, man, I need a big blessing today, go out and start looking for somebody to bless and see what the fuck happened. Oh, for sure. See what happened. Go out and attempt to be a blessing for somebody else. And look for a reason to be kind. Look for a motherfucking reason. If you're on the airport, if you're on the airplane, if you're driving, let somebody in front of you in traffic and see how it changed you. And then they fuck around, change them too a little bit. That's that traffic karma. It's karmas of all levels. But serving gets you to all of those. You know, it is better to give than to receive. It is better. Why does the scripture say it's better to give than to receive? Because you're putting out an energy that has to return to you. And it's like putting money in the bank. It's like putting money in a motherfucking bank, for sure. So when you need it, when you need to reach out and say that one thing need to come up, it might be somebody you did something for, but it might be somebody you didn't do something for, but it's got to come back to you. And yeah, the universe is rigged. It's rigged for those that understand that law of karma. And again, it's not what you think, it's to feel. What you feel is what you believe. You got to feel the victory. You know, it's easy. Anybody, a dummy, and I don't mean that in the way of like dumbfounded. I mean like a goofy. A goofy can get rich. You can fuck around, hit the lottery. That take a little bit of luck and some persistence. Hit the lottery and get rich. But you got to be smart to stay rich or to be rich. Getting rich and being rich is different, you know? And still, in all those iterations, serve. In all those aspects, fucking serve. You know? I be tripping sometime when a motherfucker call and ask for something. So I'm like, man, when are they going to call and offer something? I've only had a few times in my life, like 3 times somebody called and say, hey, Malik, just calling to see how I can be of assistance. I don't get that. Nobody say, hey, God, what you need? I got an extra $1, you know? Or I bought an extra stalk of celery. I don't get that call. And it's part of being, my daddy had told me it's part of being, you know, the alpha male or the the patriarch, you know, of a group or a family. But still, it feel good when a motherfucker say, hey, man, I got a little extra. Let me send you something on your, what you got, a bank account or a Venmo or some shit like that. I don't got none of them shits, no Venmo or a Cash App or nothing, but it would be nice if a motherfucker offered, you know what I'm saying? You know, and one of my boys called and offered. He said, man, I got some money for you because you've been looking out. You know what I'm saying? You know, motherfuckers every now and then to come through and offer some shit. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very few times in my life against the thousands of motherfuckers I done aid and assisted. Thousands. I'm talking about high thousands. I'm not talking about no 2,000-3,000 people. You know? So, and I'm not mad. about that. Sometimes I be like, man, this motherfucker, I gave this motherfucker, he promised me to do this. But you know what? I was like, 3 years later, motherfucker ain't came through yet. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? So what? And then we get into this thing of this thing of like, man, nobody loves me. And that's a dangerous place to be because it's not true. You just are in the wrong circle. Oh, somebody love you. Oh, for sure. There's somebody out there that's going to love you. And not only just you. People say, love yourself. Yeah, that's not as easy as you think it is for some of us. Again, I've previously stated, it's not as easy for some of us to get past the calluses that have been built up, on the scars that's been built up from us, not loving ourselves, not being valued by people that we valued and loved. And that shit hurt, man. That shit painful as fuck. And you just keep it inside. You don't say nothing, you know. But you remember all the time, they say, get your butt, stop acting like that. Why you do that? Why? And you like, this is who I am. That when somebody's questioning your personage, it's hurtful, man. It's just damaging. When they questioning your personage. When they say, what's wrong with you, Malik? It's not saying what's wrong with just this part of you. It's saying what's wrong with you, the being. Why are you like this? You know, making you explain who you are. It's fucking dangerous and it's hurtful and it's blasphemous, nigga. You hear me? It's blasphemous. And we left to deal with that crap that people put on us, even as little kids, you dig? As little motherfucking kids, we're trying to figure ourselves out. So we begin to try to fit in as opposed to stand out. And that's when we contort ourselves and reconfigure ourselves and shrink ourselves and try to grow ourselves to do this. And now we all misfigured. We all fucked up now. And now you got, as an adult, you got to figure out to deal with this new thing that's not even you. This lopsided thing, this non-symmetrical version of your motherfucking self that you got to present to the world every day like, ta-da, hoping that now somebody likes this version that you don't even understand, that you don't even fucking like. So we got to go back to that root core when we first start getting damaged by somebody that we fucking loved and expected them to fucking love us. And we got to go back to that space and we got to make that fucking reverse journey and go back. So don't go in the past. Yeah, sometimes you got to go in the past and find out when that happened. And it's okay to feel the pain that version of you felt for a few minutes so you can get familiar with how to cure the toxicity that was there and then how to heal from that toxic situation. And it's not going to be fucking easy. And you're going to need people around you that's going to uplift you and help you guide through it and say, you doing good, do this more. You're doing good. Because that person that you're around is trying to heal. They might not be fully healthy, but you get around people that's trying to heal. That's who you get the fuck around. Now, you're going to be around people that's not trying to heal, too. That's just the law of the universe and that we live in. You're going to come in contact with different kind of entities. But get around a motherfucker trying to heal. Because they're going to encourage you to try to heal that part of yourself that you thought was inadequate, that needed validation. And that's when you're going to motherfucking have a whole nother understanding of who you are, man. And when I talk about the service aspect of that, I'm going to go into that real quick. Give to the point of your comfortability. You don't have to overgive and just do it every day, though. Be consistent in that service. Don't have a day where you go do all the, save the kitten, save the whale, clean up the block. Then you have a breakup or some shit. Now you can't do nothing. Or it rained or some shit. Now you can't do none of the shit. Now you letting people down. And then now you feel worse again. Now you depressed the motherfucking again. I only got a few seconds left on this. I got 40 seconds left. So I'm going to tell you again. God damn it. Go to the level of your comfort. And then you can go further. There's an old saying. Go to the edge of the light that you can see. And there, you will see more light. This the Cool Lunch Table, man. Your host, Malik Yusef. I appreciate y'all. Self-love, self-care. Serve. Aid and assist. Believe, not just think. Believe. It's been the Cool Lunch Table. I've been Malik Yusef. the wordsmith, aka DJ Good Music, you can sit with us.